What's going on, everybody? Zarek here, Sobriety 365. I know it's been a minute since I shot a video. Just wanted to check in with you guys, and I just wanted to do this video today to talk about something that's close to me, and that's something that I've dealt with off and on, and I think as our society as a whole is dealing with heavily right now, and that would be, I feel like our nation, especially the United States, I think our people are dealing with depression. They say 1 in 10 people are on an antidepressant, and that's just the people who admit to it. I've had times in my life where I've struggled with depression. I've had times in my life where, I wasn't depressed and for long periods. And I always thought, what the heck? Like, why am I going through this battle of depression, especially when I was drinking? But I remember when I was 23, 24, I remember never feeling it. And I read this awesome book recently, and I've kind of figured some of these things out on my own, but it's called the Depression Cure. And it talks about the 6 steps you can take in life changes that cause people to have no depression. And they studied off a very ancient tribal, I think called the New Guinea or Guinea tribe, where they have extremely low levels of depression, even though they have crazy stuff that goes on, and there's a lot of mortality and stuff like that, but yet people don't really get depressed heavily. And the 6 steps, I believe, one was how important it is to have adequate amounts of EPA fish oil. And if you have, and then, EPA DHA 2-to-1 ratio, and how we're not getting enough omega-3s, especially EPA, which has been shown to help with mood disorders. And we're taking in way too much omega-6s through, vegetable oils, canola oil, all types of different unhealthy oils, junk foods. And our ratio is out of whack. And if you study deep into that, you'll understand how important omega-3 fatty acids are to the brain, specifically EPA. And so yeah, there's that. He talks about deep integrated social connections, hence being in a martial arts class, or joining group fitness, or doing yoga, or being in a hiking group, or cooking group. Like he says, we need to find more places to volunteer, be part of groups. One of the best things for that is religion, going to church, they say, but not huge churches, but small groups, like intimate small groups. And for people who are not religious, he was saying volunteer, and find sporting groups and any type of group that you can be involved in where everyone's passionate about it and everyone is on the same mission. So that having, deep integrations there, having deep social connections, good relationships with your family, with a significant other. And one that a lot of people that I know who are depressed don't do is exercise. And he was saying that there was a double-blind study with Zoloft, and that people who only walked 30 minutes a day, 3 times a week, their depression was way lower than the people that did Zoloft, who didn't work out. So if you have to take meds, that's cool too, but you can do these things. And, there's that. And then, so there's all these different steps. And another one was huge in sunlight. And from the Northwest where I'm from, there's periods of times where there's no sun. And the SAD, the seasonal depression, is real. I never thought I had it too much, but I have friends who really suffer from it. And he talks about how you can get exposure light therapy, and you could buy these light boxes and for 30 minutes a day, and how, that is so vital to our happiness. We're living in these houses. We're always enclosed at work all day. He says we need to get 1 to 2 hours of sunlight, even if it's cloud cover sunlight. It's still way better than anything else. And then the 6th step, I believe, was sleep. And he talks about how important it is to get 7 to 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep with pitch black lights. Don't use your phone. Don't do any bright lights before bed. And how all these steps, he's cured, because he's a psychiatrist. He's cured hundreds of patients of his. And I started using it the last couple weeks because I've still been struggling off and on with my sobriety because of my depression coming up. And ironically, I had been doing a few of these steps, but they are by my own. And now I feel like I really have a hold on it. In the last 2 weeks, I've been following the steps. I've increased my omega-3 intake. I've been reading labels and making sure I'm not eating a ton of omega-6s. And that means not eating a lot of fast food and reading labels, and I'm already pretty health conscious, but I realized some of the health stuff I was having had a lot of these things that he said not to eat. And I've been making sure I've been going out and getting sun every day. I've been exercising every day, even on my off days from working out. I've been walking 30 minutes a day, and it makes a huge difference. And he talks about how our fight or flight system has a lot to do with our depression, and when we're overloaded with stress and too much caffeine and alcohol, we're pretty much just, you know, destroying our adrenals and things of that nature, and how we need to do things to calm that down. And that is going to be huge. So for me, I do meditation. I take some anti-anxiety supplements, and for me, it's night and day. The last 2 weeks, I feel better. I haven't drank, and I feel like something like this was kind of the last step for me, because really the only reason I would go on benders and drink is because I felt so depressed that I just didn't care, and I had no idea that part of that was probably just from not following these 6 steps. You know, I work from home. And boom, I'm not getting enough social interaction. So the last year I joined a jiu-jitsu class, MMA class, and that's been awesome. I've been doing yoga. I recently picked up hiking, and all these things they're starting to get me to where I need to be, because most of my life I was never depressed. But all of us go through periods of depression, and rightfully so at times. But sometimes you have to ask, is your depression just because your life is not in order? Now, if you do all these things and your life is in order and you're still really depressed, then yeah, maybe you need some medication. You know, for me, you know, I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety, but who isn't diagnosed with that in this day and age? It's so unrare for people not to have it. You know, one awesome thing I've been tuned to is I go to CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, and it's been amazing. So I'm really, you know, grateful for that. And I feel that, you know, we've made our mistakes. You guys watching this who had drinking or drug problems or anything, like, you know, there's no use in dwelling on it. And one philosophy I study is Stoicism, and they talk about just being in the present moment and doing everything the best you can, because it may be the last thing you do, and not dwelling on your past mistakes. And so I recommend people, a good book you guys should read is The Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday. Check that out. Check out The Depression Cure. Don't give up. You know, I still truly believe I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get fully sober. I want to get a year. You know, that's the point of this channel, is my journey of trying to get a year, and through the relapses and through this and that, and me trying to figure this out. You know, so I'm gonna do it. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this. You know, I hope you guys have a good day, and spread that good energy, do good things, and a good life will come to you. All right, take care.